system, to the bamboo pipe tubes, or the multi-hook system, the people's creative ingenuity cannot be underestimated. How impressive that a vegetation such as this is actually a ruse for fish to house themselves. And no sooner would they be hauled into raffia-made fish traps planted strategically round the mound. At a point, however, the seeming good fortune of fishermen have to come to an end. This is the off-season, when there are less fishes in the river. In some parts of the world, when the off-season comes, most fishermen remain idle and have to wait until another fishing season commences. But this is not the case in Ekpe. This is because most fishermen in Ekpe also undertake artificial fish farming through construction of ponds, which are located not too far from the river. Why would most fishermen also own ponds?
The time of off-season in lagoon, so this one is certain. That of the river is uncertain. It's under perhaps. But this one, if you got it, you get pond, you introduce stock, you feed. So it will not disappoint you at all. You just need money, you come there, you come and take it. It's just like bank.
Fish farming in Ekpe has therefore been on a steady growth. In this serene, quiet and natural setting are many fish ponds which are providing steady source of income for the fishermen. The ponds are over 400 in number, dotted along the coastline, with catfish being the dominant breed. Combined with deep-sea fishing, little wonder that there are fishes at every corner in this market at Ekpe. Next time you visit Ekpe, be at liberty to walk straight to the beach area to have a feast of the rich variety of fish that Ekpe has to offer. Even when your visit is at a time when fishermen have to return in frustration from sea without any catch, do not worry. There must always be enough fish to eat at Ekpe.
Everything is architected and designed by the Almighty.
Someone who is a Christian is someone who lives a life of Jesus Christ. And the life of Jesus Christ is a life of sacrifice.
Yes.
Get ready for the tension and the heat as passionate entrepreneurs go head-to-head against 5 fierce multi-millionaire investors, pitching their businesses and ideas in order to get an investment of a lifetime. Some will taste victory, but not every idea will hit the right spot. Watch Nigeria's biggest investment reality TV show, Lion's Den,
on Saturday, 8 p.m. on
Operation Safe Haven troops intercept illicit drugs. Residents of Jos have been speaking on their expectations in the new year. 2021 Yuletide season, Plateau Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps records reduction in road crashes. Hello and welcome to News Panorama, coming to you live from Jos Network Center. I am Zenret Dingmoon. President Muhammadu Buhari has urged the board of the newly incorporated Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, to ensure strict compliance with corporate governance principles that place premium on doing business with the highest ethical standards, integrity and transparency. Inaugurating the board chaired by Senator Margaret Chuba Okadibo, the president charged them to focus on profitability and operate at par with its industry peers across the world. A statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the President reminded the board members that they came on board as a result of the reforms put forward by the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA 2021, which seeks to reposition the Nigerian petroleum industry to a commercially viable and competitive industry in line with global business dynamics and best practices. President Buhari directed that there should be full alignment and synergy between NNPC Limited, the Upstream Regulatory Commission, and the Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authority in compliance with the provisions of the law in all respects to deliver the onerous reforms envisaged for the energy industry. The statement further indicates that, while thanking the leadership and members of the National Assembly for its seamless support in the journey towards a viable, accountable, and transparent energy industry, the President said he would count on the professional insights and ethical conduct of the board members to ensure the delivery of his administration's promises to Nigerians. The statement notes that the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Nimipre Silva, says under the present administration, a lot has been achieved in the petroleum industry, including the signing of the PIA, the registration of NNPC Limited as a Kama company, and the inauguration of the board of the NNPC Limited. President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria is prepared to continue its big brotherhood for the Republic of Mali within the requirements of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. This was while receiving a special envoy from the transitional president of the West African nation, Colonel Assimi Goïta. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president also granted audience to the ECOWAS mediator to Mali, former President Goodluck Jonathan.
Malian leader, special envoy, and Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, Colonel Abdullahi Maiga, briefed President Muhammadu Buhari on the outcome of the recently held National Conference on State Rebuilding in Bamako. He said the vision of his country's leader, Colonel Goïta, is speedy return to democracy. Mali, he however explained, wants to review laws guarding elections and professionalize the process. The special envoy expressed gratitude to Nigeria for supporting his country as well as helping the ECOWAS mediation team led by former President Goodluck Jonathan. Responding to the comprehensive briefing, President Muhammadu Buhari promised that Nigeria would continue to do her level best for the sister African country within ECOWAS limitations, saying, however, that nobody could love Mali more than Malians themselves. He therefore counseled that everyone should work within the tenets of ECOWAS towards the restoration of constitutional order at the shortest time possible. The president described as pleasing that the team also briefed the ECOWAS chairman on recent developments in Mali. And shortly after the Malian leader's envoy departed the State House, former President Goodluck Jonathan came calling. Dr. Jonathan is the special envoy and mediator of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to Mali. The ultimatum by ECOWAS to the West African nation to announce concrete plans for elections or face additional sanctions had expired. Dr. Jonathan has been leading mediation talks with the authorities in Mali on the restoration of democratic order. Details of his engagement with President Muhammadu Buhari that lasted about half an hour were, however, not disclosed. Meanwhile, an extraordinary summit of the ECOWAS heads of state and government on the situation in Mali is scheduled for Sunday next week in Accra, Ghana. President Muhammadu Buhari also granted audience to the governor of Jigawa State, Muhammad Badaru Abubakar. The outcome of the closed-door meeting was not made public. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The Nigeria Police Force has unveiled Special Disability Desk Office in Abuja. Francis Form reports that the Special Disability Desk Office is also to be set up in all zonal commands and formations of the force with a view to ensuring justice and the protection of people with disabilities. The report.
Barely 1 month after the setting up of the Special Disability Desk Office in the force, leadership of the Nigeria Police Force has taken further steps to unveil the operations of the Special Desk Office to avail persons with disability unfettered access to police services and promote the dignity of their persons, discourage stigmatization and stereotype, as well as give full effect to discrimination against persons with disability.
Persons with disability may be different in a kind, but are certainly equal to us all. By law and global protocols, they deserve to be treated with respect and dignity and must be accorded due services without being discriminated against anyway.
And for people with disability, setting up of the office by the force means freedom from discrimination.
This is the day that we are being liberated from the clutches of discrimination, inhuman treatment, and other vices against the disability community in Nigeria.
Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, in a message delivered by the Permanent Secretary, advocated for the inclusion of people with disability in future police recruitment exercise in fulfillment of Section 28 and 29 of the Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Act 2018.
It is our singular belief that when given the opportunity and right environment, persons with disabilities have the innate capacity of overcoming their limitations and contributing immensely towards the development of this country.
I am not surprised at all that the Inspector General of Police has found it necessary to partner in this war or crusade.
Meanwhile, the force equally approved a training program for police personnel who are to serve as the disability desk officers under the coordination of the Force Public Relations Department. Francis from NTA News.
Has noticed with dismay the habit of wearing military uniforms by some politicians for electioneering campaign posters. In a statement, the Acting Director Defense Information Air Commodore Wap Megida says campaign posters of some governors dressed in military camouflage uniforms are displayed in their respective states. This, the Acting Director Defense Information noted, is illegal and an abuse of the privilege of allowing civilians wear military uniforms during military training exercises. The Armed Forces of Nigeria as a professional institution remains apolitical and would not want to be dragged into any form of political bias. The statement advised politicians to desist from the use of military uniforms for political events and other engagements, stressing that anyone found culpable would be liable to prosecution. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says it has secured a total of 2,220 convictions across all its commands in 2021. The figure, which emerged from a review of the Commission's performance in the outgone year, shows that the Lagos command of the agency recorded the most convictions, followed by Ibadan Command, while the Port Harcourt Zonal Command came third. A statement by the head of media and publicity, Wilson Uwajaren, says this is the highest conviction since the inception of the EFCC. Commenting on the performance, the executive chairman of the commission, Abdurrashid Bawa, commended the personnel for their dedication despite the challenges of criminal prosecution in court. He assured that the EFCC will continue to motivate all categories of staff for greater efficiency through capacity development and other incentives. Substance suspected to be cannabis sativa valued at more than 6 million naira has been intercepted and recovered by officers of the Operation Safe Haven along Akwanga Gwantu Road, Sanga local government area of Kaduna State. Caleb Gochin has the report.
Chief of Staff, Operation Safe Haven, Brigadier General Amos Egbejile, says the substance is in 314 parcels concealed in a Toyota Avensis saloon car with registration number AAA 348.
Named Danjuma Saliu was recovered with the vehicle. Further search was conducted on the vehicle, and items recovered include 2 fake military and Department of State Services ID cards bearing the deceased name, a Motorola, and a sum of 10,000 naira only was equally recovered. The deceased corpse was handed over to the Nigerian police at Sanga local government of Kaduna State. The relative of the deceased were equally identified, and the corpse has been handed over to them through court procedure for burial.
The officials of the NDLEA took possession of the substance.
Please extend our greetings to your commander, and the due process must be carried out.
You can imagine if these 314 parcels were allowed to go into the town or into the society, the kind of criminality that will have been wreaked upon the populace will only be imaginable. So we are really appreciative of the efforts and consistent help that the Operation Safe Haven has been giving us. And we'll make sure that further investigation is conducted to even trace the roots of this consignment that has been delivered to us.
Similarly, in custody of the OPSH is a Ford Edge vehicle with registration number ABC 318LU, which was abandoned by its driver on sighting troops along Fadan Karshi Road in Sanga local government area of Kaduna State. Medical officer Operation Safe Haven, Dr. Austin Oworchukwu, confirmed that the analgesic drugs in the vehicle have no NAFDAC registration number, which makes them suspicious. In Jos, Caleb Gochin, NT News.
Plateau State Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps says it's recorded significant reduction in road traffic crashes during 2021 Yuletide season. The sector commander, Alphonsus Godwin, gave this indication in Jos while reviewing their activities during the period. Abba Bubukari Akubu reports.
The Operation Zero Tolerance to Road Traffic Crashes, which is an annual program of the Federal Road Safety Corps, usually runs for a period of 4 months, September to December, to sensitize the public on the importance of road traffic rules and regulations. The command says the operation, which will end on the 15th of January 2022, has been successful so far, with a drastic reduction in road crashes from 90 cases in 2020 to 63 in 2021. Fatal crashes reduced from 18 to 10, and serious cases from 63 to 51 in 2021. The command further stated that it has intensified enforcement of patrols across the 6 unit commands in the state, with all officers and special marshals on ground to ensure sanity on the roads. In Jos, Abba Abubakar Yakubu, NT News.
With me in the studio is the sector commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, to talk more about the Yuletide activities for 2021. You're welcome to Panorama, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so the mandate of the Federal Road Safety Corps is to reduce road traffic crashes and create a safe motoring environment to Nigerians. To what extent has the Corps achieved this during the Yuletide period?
Yes, we have achieved this to a very great extent. The fact that the rate of road traffic crash has reduced tremendously. Since the beginning of the Yuletide, we have been preparing because we know it's a period that there's an increase in vehicular movements and people. So we have prepared very much about how to carry out the operations. We started with since from the flag off in September. We have ensured we've increased our visibility on the highways, and then we have deployed our men and the special marshals to ensure that there will be traffic rules and regulations, and this has contributed to the result we today have in the reduction of road traffic crash on the plateau.
Okay. So what new strategies did you employ at this period for improved traffic management and control?
Yes, we have collaborated seriously with sister agencies to move traders and move the paths away from the road. We have equally ensured our visibility is increased. Our men are deployed every now and then to control traffic at strategic points. And crash-prone areas, we deploy our men to calm down traffic, the enlightenment even to their offices and to their workplaces.
Okay, so we got
the case we have in the previous years, especially
continues.
In the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Thanks for staying with us. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control has confirmed 791 new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria. A breakdown shows that Lagos has 523 cases, 249 recorded for 5th of January and 274 for 6th of January 2022. FCT has 84, Oyo 48, Ondo 35 and Kano recorded 22 cases. Borno has 16 confirmed cases for 5th and 6th of January 2022. Others include 15 cases each for Delta and Edo states. Ogun has 9, Jigawa 7, Bauchi 6, Plateau 5, while Rivers recorded 4 and Bayelsa 2 cases. No case for Ekiti and Osun states. So far, Nigeria has 246,195 confirmed cases, 217,509 discharged, and 3,066 deaths recorded. As residents of Jos continue to experience cold weather, they have also devised means of coping with the situation to avoid health complications. Saadatu Mohammed Kafa reports.
Dressing in thick clothing is a usual sight in the city of Jos, especially during the Harmattan season. Residents say this year's cold is quite severe and they have prepared meals that will keep them warm, as well as putting on warm clothing.
In the morning, I'm taking hot water so that to warm my body. I'm going exercise sometimes.
I take hot tea without milk. It makes me feel okay. And sometimes I add ginger to it. Okay. Because ginger is a little bit pepperish.
As for dealers of warm clothing, they say even though it is a period for big business, the patronage is quite low.
Market is fine. We do small. But the weather is from now you come. Whatever, but money no money for some individual people.
The advice is for people who are prone to contracting such ailments like children, the aged, asthmatic patients, and those with respiratory tract infections to limit their outdoor activities and stay warm always.
Time like this require that people should keep warm, right? Take a lot of hot food like tea. And so on and so forth. This will mitigate the effect of the extremely low temperature and even the reactions that are due to organisms with their pollen grains in the air.
In Jos, Saadatu Mohammed Kafa, NTA News.
Let's now join our sports desk for the latest in the world of sports.
Ahead
of the 33rd African Cup of Nations campaign for Nigeria in Cameroon, Super Eagles held their first training session at the annex of Ajo Stadium in Garoua on Thursday. The team who arrived Garoua on Wednesday night started their preparations ahead of their opening games next week Tuesday against the Pharaohs of Egypt.
So far, I think they are very pleased. And the attitude towards the training sections have been awesome. Really professionalism that they're demonstrating.
Meanwhile, the three-time African champions will take on Cameroonian champions Cotton Sports in a friendly on Friday. The match is expected to be played behind closed doors, 4 p.m. local time. Dakada FC management and technical crew have been suspended indefinitely following the manhandling of a match official by an assistant coach of the club. In a release on Thursday by the Akwa Ibom State Ministry of Youth and Sports, signed by the Director of Sports, Ifyokdorf, an interim committee has been mandated to take over the club. The ministry also frowned at the unprofessional manner the club management handled the match protocols before, during and after the Nigeria Professional Football League Match Day 4 encounter against Remo Stars Football Club.
And I have to give kudos to the LMC for these measures they have taken so far, because that's what we were expecting of them. But by that sanction, it should serve as a deterrent to other clubs who have that idea of wanting to assault match officials.
In tennis, Australian government have said they will investigate visas of other foreign tennis players after detaining Novak Djokovic in a chaotic row over vaccine rules. The men's world #1 remains in immigration detention in Melbourne and is facing deportation after his entry into the country was denied on Wednesday. Meanwhile, fans of the tennis legend have gathered outside the players' hotel to voice their support, as Djokovic also launched an urgent court challenge to be heard on Monday, a week before the Australian Open begins. With sports updates, Cynthia Ogun, NTA News.
And join NTA to stand against rape and rapists. That's been Panorama today. Good afternoon.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Everything is architected and designed by the Almighty.
Someone who is a Christian is someone who lives a life of Jesus Christ. And the life of Jesus Christ is a life of sacrifice.
Yes.
It's all in the air and it's all in my heart. The feeling of anticipation. Let the songs and cheering out everywhere in celebration.
Some go there fry chin, some go there fry meat.
Chaputito, with decorations everywhere, making it very clear. It's the season and a reason to turn your frown upside down. It's the season and a reason to spread love and joy all around. It's the season and a reason. Turn your frown upside down. It's the season and a reason to spread love and joy all around. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Compliments of the season, a very Merry Christmas and a most glorious New Year from all of us in NTA.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Sheer adventurism is driving me to go deep into the Onyama mines. It is the biggest coal mine in the whole of South. Well, the coronation of the new Oni is a watershed in the history of the Yoruba land generally, and Ife in particular. Now, because they have a leader now, that will... Simply put, Gura is a beautiful countryside with awesome landscapes. If something differently will be done to the Nigerian textile industries, that our youth will be employed. Many people that attend the church here can tell you. Service in Holy Rosa is in We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Ketsu. For anyone who moves around the country today, he will not fail to notice an emerging trend that is revolutionizing the way we do our agriculture. It is a landmark program of the federal government as it continues to pursue its drive for food security for the country and the elimination of poverty. The government is through the reinvented National Agricultural Land Development Authority (NALDA, penetrating all corners of this country with an agricultural blueprint that is not only guaranteeing mass employment for the rural populace, but also empowering them with skill sets that will see them through a lifetime of engagement in various agricultural endeavors.
The major core mandate of NALDA
is to develop land, make land more resourceful, and to engage the youth. The first benefit that we derive is the empowerment of the youth and women through the land development. That is the very first benefit of NALDA, because Mr. President's desire is to see unemployment reduce drastically through the engagement of the youth and women into the entire value chain of agriculture.
I know how the power of words often translate actions beyond their measure, especially with the politics. But if the federal effort at employment generation, poverty reduction, and food security, especially with what I see of NALDA, is rhetorics, then the truth will never be known. I'm sharing my on-the-spot experience with what this national agency is particularly doing differently across the country, and how that is changing lives and bringing back hope, where in particular in many areas there was gloom. As a matter of fact, I have prior documented how NALDA is putting up such a human face in the Northeast, and how that is giving communities who had seen years of insurgency a new start to life. In this particular experience, I followed what NALDA is doing differently in the Southeast, and the affected communities have never had it so good. This is a picture of Umuahia, the capital city of Abia State, in a particularly hazy day. What National Agricultural Land Development Authority NALDA is doing here is brightening up the lives of hundreds of communities around the state. Communities of Bende and Arochukwu are noted rice cultivators in Abia. In fact, they are the rice production belt of the state. When NALDA arrived those communities, it injected its life spirit, which completely changed the way they do their rice. It is a long walk to several of the communities, but a fulfilling one. National Agricultural Land Development Authority is changing the way some 5 communities in Arochukwu local government are cultivating rice. These 3 communities are rice cultivating areas. But then this year, NALDA came there and intervened. And the intervention is a master stroke on the way these people are cultivating their own rice. NALDA didn't collect their land. But in a situation where one farmer has 5 hectares of land and he can cultivate only 1 at a year, now NALDA is telling him he can cultivate all, and let us show you how. So it brought its personnel, it brought its extension service workers, it brought input, it brought seedlings, it brought everything that is necessary for these farmers to be able to cultivate their land fully. And the result is 100 hectares of rice farms are being cultivated here, and it's ready for harvest. We are going to see some with some of the beneficiaries, and that's precisely the business here. Some 247 rice farmers across 5 communities that include Abami and Indebi Abam receive everything they require to cultivate their rice spaces at no cost from NALDA. There are collectively 100 hectares cultivated around the 5 communities, all with the results that are heartwarming. This 1 hectare of rice farm belongs to Pastor Sunday Ogo, who in fact had 4 more hectares of rice farms across the communities, but was never able to cultivate them all at once because of what it takes to get inputs. This year, with NALDA intervention, he cultivated them all. NALDA providing everything from seeds to extension services.
Before now, I've been managing to cultivate up to maybe 1 acre or half acre, but it's not been possible for me. But now that came, as you can see, there's a difference, huge difference. At least I've been able to cultivate my farms happily and easily.
And how did you do it? What did NALDA do differently for you?
Because NALDA came in and gave me input, fertilizer, seed, chemicals, so many of them, rain boot, kits, and cutlasses. No, I'm okay, I'm just happy.
And what did you give NALDA?
I didn't give them any dime.
Adanna Dike is a woman with a resolve. She has been a rice farmer all her life. But her experience with rice cultivation this year took a new dimension for the better. She encountered the spirit of NALDA.
Like before, I take plant.
Okay.
But the time where I do my own, I use my money buy rice to plant. But this one, I no use money buy this rice why I plant.
Okay.
Now
So,
the people give.
okay.
Now
So,
the people give me the rice.
okay.
And the
So
chemical.
they gave you seeds.
Yes, sir.
They gave you chemicals.
Yes,
Okay, and they advise you on what you will do too, right? They give you advice.
Yes,
Okay, so when you now you see this your rice is enough to be cultivated, but it has matured enough to be harvested. Tell me, how does it look? How does it look now? Compare it to the time you are doing it on your own. Which one is better?
This one is better because of some chemical that they give us to apply to do the rice.
Okay.
So this one better than the one we would do before.
Oh, you mean the chemical, does it include fertilizer?
Yes.
They gave you fertilizer?
Yes.
And they gave you some chemicals which you
Yes.
and at the right time? Okay. So you are happy now?
Yes.
You are satisfied?
Yes.
Adana is not the only woman from the group in these communities benefiting from the rice support by NALDA. Some 10 other women are, all with the same result. The rice in these 5 communities are ready for harvest, and NALDA will be the uptaker. NALDA adopts bottom-up approach in the implementation of its programs. Communities who sought NALDA intervention do open up on what they want. It so happened that when Aryan community in Ukuanu local government area of Abuja State donated 100 hectares of land to NALDA to support their agricultural practice, they made it specific what they needed. Actually, NALDA transformed the land into an integrated farm estate for fishery, hatchery of fingerlings, and for the cultivation of banana. The very first act of NALDA in the area was to develop access road to the farm estate. It did so by construction of 1.5 kilometer stretch of tarred road from the main road to the wide spread of the farm. No roads existed there before. For the fishery section, 50 fish ponds have already been constructed across 16 pens in the farm. 2 dedicated water boreholes have been put up as support for the fisheries. They run non-stop. In fact, all the fish ponds contain water from the boreholes, a readiness for the fingerlings, which an authority will arrive as soon as all building requirements for the area are completed. Already the ponds are energized with cow dungs, which support the livelihoods of the fingerlings.
Once the fish is stocked, we will start rearing it. And at maturity, we will harvest it. We'll have a processing plant somewhere else, not in this location, where the fishes will be processed. Then we also have provision for hatchery, where we don't want a situation whereby we'll keep buying the fingerlings. We want to be self-sustaining in this regard, so that the next batch of fishes will be the one from our hatchery.
When NALDA put up fisheries, women are at the center of the endeavor. In this one, 150 women drawn from the local Aryan community will be the sole beneficiaries. Characteristically, NALDA will provide all they require to run a successful fishery business. For every fish pond, there will be 3 women to attend to it. In the farm center in Ariam, there is 50 hectares of land dedicated for the cultivation of banana. 30 hectares are planted now, and they are enjoying a healthy growth. In this place where I am, the work has already begun, and the local community are happy about it. This place you see is 50 hectares of land. That has cleared the area and has allowed local community to come and plant banana. And you know what is happening? This 50 hectares now is a picture of planted banana, and the banana is growing up beautifully. The beauty of this one is that the local community are getting income. They are getting engaged all year round. And also, of course, they have the promise of sustained entrepreneurship by what they are doing differently. As much as the prospect of this plantation shows, in the next 8 months, Ariam will be a banana hub. The plant species are good for the market, and the land is agreeable to it.
Right now, we have over 40,000 banana stands. So the expectation is quite huge at harvest. All things being equal, by the grace of God.
But how do you come to banana plantation in that area? You know, did you contact the people before planting, or you just feel these people need banana and just...
Well, we had series of discussions with the community representatives, yes, and by the feedback we got from them. It's that's why we chose banana. Yes, and then the economic benefits also for them, because by and large we're here to make them money and empower them.
There is an ongoing plan now to reticulate water from the fishery sections to the banana. There is also an active plan to put up a dedicated borehole for the banana farm. In all places where NALDA offers its selfless support, the question remains, how does it recoup its investments? At the same time, there is a question of also how beneficiaries collect their dues at the end of harvest when their produce is uptaken and the sharing formula to be used.
Now, when the off-taking is done, the farmers get their money for participating, for being the farmers. NALDA recoups back the major investment made in order to give them again, to reinvest in them again, by way of providing inputs in herbicide and then more training. So for us, it's a revolving thing. NALDA does not make profit. It's not a profit-making organization.
NALDA works in close relationship with the communities for its programs. In peculiar cases, it enters into partnership with relevant systems for the promotion of learning and for food security. At Michael Okpara University of Agriculture in Umudike, still in Abia State, NALDA, in partnership with the school, cleared 100 hectares of land at the school area ahead of an integrated farm estate. There are actually 400 hectares earmarked for the farm estate, but 100 have been cleared now by NALDA. The estate is intended for crop cultivation, fishery, snailry, poultry, piggery, and the rearing of grass cutter. It will serve as a demonstration farm for the students of the university. The host community are also factored when the estate starts life. As well as the land clearing, NALDA will provide all that is required for the estate to live its life and ever after. It is convenient to say that NALDA is a work in progress, and it is all over putting up structures for the various purposes of its assigned mandate. All through, however, it is easy to clearly see the nobility of its vision and its transformational force. In Abano's local government, another construction work by NALDA at Boys Technical College Aba is getting to a finish line. The authority is partnering the local government authority here to create a processing hub for fish and snails, which the construction work here symbolizes.
Work is seriously ongoing. We are going to process all the fish that comes from Ariam. Here we'll have, when it's done, we'll have storage, we'll have the fish processing center where we'll roast the fish, package for sales.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are even selling it at this point?
Yes.
Okay, obviously. Is the placement for only this or there are other intentions?
There are other intentions. There will be a snailry that will come up here. And also the processing of the snails will happen here.
Okay, so it's like a hub. It's like a processing hub.
It's a processing hub.
Umekuku, in Awerino's local government area of Imo State, is witnessing the second coming of an expansive farm in their community that has been abandoned since 1978. With the reinvention of NALDA, Imo State government committed the farm to NALDA, and true to type, the authority is not only vigorously pursuing the complete rehabilitation of the farm, it is also breathing its magic wand to it. The farm is now identified as Acharugbo, Emekuku Integrated Farm, and on agreement with the local community who are direct beneficiaries of the spirit of the reinvigorated farm, NALDA is putting up poultry, goats, and piggery sections to it. It is a 32 hectares farm with a land available for crop cultivation. There are 22 buildings in the farm, which some have been fully rehabilitated, and some are getting the rehabilitation ongoing. In the sections, 3 buildings are for brooding of chicks, of which 15,000 birds have already been brought to the farm by NALDA. NALDA is coming back with its humanity again, bringing this humanity to various poor and vulnerable communities across this country. I have been to Achurugbo in Emekuku, in Owerino's local government area of Imo State, and what I am seeing really amazes me. In this farm, provision has been made for poultry farming, for piggery, for looking after small ruminants. There is also a land for crop production. But what really impresses me is the humanity, is the way people have embraced the program and they are happy that they have a means of livelihood and that they can survive. In this place, there is a poultry section. It's a brooding section, obviously, because their old chicks have been brought and people have been brought, ordinary people, to look after them, and these chicks are their own. Every individual has 500 chicks. They look after them. When they grow, it is their own, and then they can even open their own businesses. Beautiful, if you ask me. But then what is much more impressive is that NALDA is providing the feeding in adequate quantity. It is providing the water in adequate quantity. It is providing the drug in adequate quantity. These chicken promise to live up to their life expectancy, and that is the story of this place. The chicks in this farmhouse are broilers, and some 67 people from the local community are drawn to benefit from them. The brooding rooms are transition rooms, and at a point in the growth of the birds, they will be transferred to 6 rooms designed to continue their growth as Aussie broilers. Many of the people that are attending the brooding rooms are people who had prior experiences with the poultry. Opram Ogechi is one of 30 people who benefited from this intervention by NALDA. That means to be having a poultry of their own. Everything is their own. They will look after it, they will develop it, and they have been given training to benefit from it.
Plan from this, when I get money and whatever I'm supposed to have a land, build my own poultry houses. Then from there I can start my own business of poultry to help me sustain myself and my kids and be able to train them too.
Okay. So you said, yeah, before what were you doing actually? Tell me, Oli.
I'm into piggery and poultry, but it's not my own farm. I'm working for somebody and the person is being paid. I'm being paid for what I'm doing.
Yeah, okay.
Before this program started, then I was lucky to be one of the beneficiaries.
Are you satisfied with the way these chicks are being looked at now?
Yes, sir.
You tell me, what do they require at this stage in their life, and what do you see here?
So they require good feeding. When you give them food, water, and their drugs, they're okay.
And what's happening here now?
So what's happening here now is that they are feeding very well.
There is food. There is enough food for them.
There's enough food for them, good water for them.
And then the drugs.
Yes.
There is stringent observance of safety protocols around the breeding rooms, and the birds are in good state of health.
We have a visiting veterinarian that always come around in the morning to look at them and instigate and put their drugs in appropriate possession so they can actually spray it around.
So everything is going on fine?
Everything is going on fine. I know it's a gradual something. So as it goes on, improvements will be coming.
NALDA provides 3 solar-powered boreholes in Acharugbo and are dispensing water fully. A timely intervention necessary for the sustainability of the agriculture practice here. The Imosel coordinator of NALDA also takes us through a land area around the farm intended for cropping of cassava and maize especially.
We want to introduce irrigation there. Then there's a river across this farm where we'll make use of the water there for farming, and the soils are so good to plant on.
Irrigation farming as well?
Irrigation farming as well.
Okay. But do you have a borehole to use? How do you...
No, we'll try and use these water pumping machines.
Okay.
So we can draw water from the river instead of putting in borehole that side, because the river is close. We want to the situation whereby we can actually produce our own feed.
Okay.
That's the plan. That's what we're looking at. So we can actually, if we plant maize or cassava, we'll actually have a processing machine here based on cassava to get the outer layers to process food for the pig.
Moving across the different sections of the farm, we observe ongoing work at the goat sections. There are 12 pens earmarked for the goats, and about 300 pieces of goats are expected. In fact, Executive Secretary NALDA, Prince Paul Ikonne, confirmed that 2 days after our visit, some 100 goats have arrived at the pens. We also saw a vigorous road construction exercise at the farm, that is, building access to all the farm areas, right from the main road leading to the farm. The piggery section is coming alive. There are actually 3 buildings for the pigs in Acharugbo. In the first one, 100 piglets are provided of both sexes. They are brought as 2 months old. Unlike in the brooding areas, beneficiaries with knowledge of pig keeping are brought to benefit and take care of them.
I have my own before, and I do take care of them before I now have to leave the business because there is no money. But I thank God that the government can bring it close to me now, So with the experience I have in my own farm before, I think I will use it and take care of the pigs now.
And you can start business again.
Yes, at least if I raise money here, I can still start my own again. Because you know that this pig business costs money. Sometimes if you don't have a structure, your own house, if you can't build the house, you cannot start this thing. And the feeding is also hard because you must go out there and buy PKC. Yes, you must go out there and buy the
feeding is difficult?
So the feeding, to provide the feed is difficult for us that are not doing anything now.
Okay.
Yes, it's difficult for us.
But the government is providing it.
But now the government is providing everything. They provide the feed, they provide the pigs, they provide everything for us. Even the water, they're providing the water for us. Our duty is to come here and take care of our pigs.
There is an excitement among the pig keepers on the prospect the pigs will have on their lives. There is a rich provision of their feeds in the meantime, and every pen is equipped with a pond to allow the pigs live a healthy life. They tell me that in the next 4 or 5 months, these pigs can start to give birth to...
Yeah, you know how they give? They give birth like rabbits. One of the pig can actually give birth to 12 of them. So before 1 or 2 birth rates here, the whole place will fill up. That's what we're hoping for, and we pray that definitely they will work. They will go to that stage.
And that's enough benefit for the people.
Enough benefit. It will now make us to attract more beneficiaries. More hands will now come in for us to help them and teach them the business.
And you have everything you want for this animal to grow healthy?
Yes, we have everything in the compound, but we need a borehole specifically for the piggery section because the piggery goes with a borehole. So that's why we are pleading.
But I've seen borehole all around the area.
Yes, there are borehole in the brooding side, there are borehole in the chicken side, there are borehole in the goatry side, but the piggery lack boreholes. And boreholes, water goes with the piggery.
Generally, Acharubo promises a bright future for many of the unemployed youth in Owerri North and environs as it continues to come alive with more structures. In terms of high impact of NALDA intervention on Nigerian communities, many are actually asking, how can they benefit?
NALDA programs are community-based, and that is why we're reaching out to people through the state government and through their communities. It's very simple. States, local government, and communities have been writing us directly, donating their land and seeking for NALDA's intervention in partnering with them in order to develop lands within their communities. So reaching NALDA is very simple by writing to us, NALDA at the head office, or contacting our NALDA office in the state. The state governors, they have access to NALDA. They can always reach NALDA.
In Ezilo, Ebonyi State, rice cultivation is ongoing. This is an NYSC demonstration farm, which NALDA is providing all the necessary inputs to stimulate greater interest on agriculture on core members posted to the state. It is a partnership between NALDA and the NYSC, and a significant headway has already been made.
We entered into this partnership because NYSC decided to donate this land and say, NALDA, please come in and let us partner to reactivate this rice farm so that we can help in increasing food production. We are able, on the long run, despite the few challenges on the way, to achieve our primary aim of this partnership, which is to help increase food production in the country, which is the core mandate of the National Agricultural Land Development Authority.
Agriculture is something I want to do, and I didn't think I was going to add rice farming. I was thinking of livestock, but haven't had this experience. I'm very sure that I would venture into rice farming. I haven't seen the profit that comes with it.
Here is specifically for rice production and processing. So core members who are here are being trained on rice cultivation, processing, and marketing. You see, we have just left the paddy where we planted rice. Here is the mill. The essence of this thing is to make core members become self-reliant. You know, there are no job opportunities now, and government is encouraging core members to go into their own businesses. So this is part of what NYSC is doing, to encourage core members to become self-reliant, and then become employers of labor.
I observe one thing about NALDA intervention across the states. It is that they are taking projects of high impact simultaneously. Is it not overwhelmed? I'm curious also on the sustainability plans of these life-changing projects. In all, NALDA projects across the country are an enforcement of the sincerity of the federal government to bring 100 million Nigerians out of the shackles of poverty in 10 years and guarantee food security for the country.
The coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, has been declared by the World Health Organization as a global pandemic. While clinical trials are ongoing for a vaccine and a possible cure, there is no known treatment for the coronavirus. Nigeria has recorded some of these cases, and people are advised to take these preventive measures to keep themselves safe and contain the further spread of the virus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water, or use hand sanitizers all the time. Maintain social distancing. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice respiratory hygiene. If you have fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early. Do not panic. Stop the spread of unconfirmed news. Follow the official government news outlets and report all cases immediately. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Africa's largest television network.
Hello, nice to have you with us. Let me start by saying Barka de Salah. How are you enjoying your holiday? It's important that we get to relax. As much as we're in that celebrative mood, it's also important for us to remember that tomorrow is work. Even though for us here, we're already working today. So it's best to rest and be ready to face the challenge of the office. I say challenge, not problem, because a lot of times we get this confused. The show is Conversation. My name is Elizabeth Abai, and I have lovely ladies here with me who are going to be doing our kitchen talk today. What do I mean? But let me, before I get to introduce the topic, let me quickly showcase the beautiful ladies and do your introduction by yourself.
Good morning, viewers at home. I will say Barka de Salah too. I hope you enjoyed your Salah. I am Hawa Mahmoud Adam. I'm happy to be with you today this morning.
All right. Okay, and we have...
Titi Lola. Abigail Mafe. I'll also say Barka de Salah. Good day, viewers at home. I'm glad to be here too.
All right, it's our pleasure to have us, all of us here, because me too, I'm a guest, even though the program is of NTA, and it's our way of saying Barka de Salah to everybody. It's Conversation, and today we're going to be looking at what has been hitting us. For women who are the home, managers, I choose to call myself domestic engineer. That engineering thing is becoming hard though. We need to go back to university to find how to rearrange the arithmetics of economics, engineering to get the home flowing. Are you with me? The answer is yes. But let's go and take a short break. When we come back, we get to tell you what we're talking about full time. All right, if you're just joining us, it is a conversation, and I told you that we're looking at our kitchen cabinets and to ensure that this kitchen cabinets will take it to the next level, despite the economic challenges we might be facing. We're known as multitask people, multitask engineers, and as multi-talented people, we also think outside the box. That's the domestic engineers, that's housewives, by the way. So, well, really? Somebody once asked me, what's your job? What's your career? I said, I'm a domestic engineer. He actually wrote it down. Then he stood up and said, what does that mean? I said, I engineer the things in the house.
Yes, exactly.
It's not easy. I mean, anyway, Hajia Barka de Salah. How has it been? How did you enjoy buying your RAM and all that?
Actually, we have to manage as usual. This year, everything is even more difficult than last year. Everything was expensive. In fact, we just have to manage.
How much is the RAM going for now?
RAMs were average. You get 100,000 and above, because anything less than is manageable. You just manage it because it won't be enough. You just see tiny RAM calling 50,000 is something very little RAM that you see maybe before you buy it 10, 15,000. But this year you have to buy like at least 70, 80. If you want something reasonable, 100 and above.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Actually, you can see the ramps everywhere. There is no money to buy it.
Okay, this is like water everywhere.
Well, the ramps, see the ramps, but you can't buy. They are here. But the money to buy is something else. So many people are just managing to survive. The mudu of rice is expensive, tomatoes, everything.
I learned people even share the rams this year.
Yes.
That's like 3 people, we put up money together and
but,
share.
Islamically, a family can do that.
Okay.
Maybe the head of family can buy for his one and share with his immediate family members, but you can't share with another person.
Okay, you can't share with a friend.
Yes, it's a religious something. So you can't share with outside relative, or maybe the head of the family will buy one and share with his immediate family.
Okay, so I can't share with my colleagues, in spite of the fact that I see myself.
Because it's not compulsory. It's for somebody that can afford. Because Islamically, God does not put something, a burden on someone that he cannot bear.
I wish human beings can begin to see it like that.
So, we take everything as compulsory, or, you force yourself to do what others are doing.
A kind of competition.
Yes, but it's not actually that compulsory, because God knows if you can afford. That's why it's a sharing something. When you slaughter the ram, you are expected to share it into 3 parts. You give out to others. You share with others, especially those that did not have, we are not opportune to, slaughter. So you share with them. That's the spirit. You are not forced to do it. You can't go and borrow money to come and slaughter ram. And at the end of the day,
ask that.
Yes, because people do that. You can't buy. You can't go and borrow, then come and slaughter the ram. At the end of the day, you will not be at peace, because you will start looking for money to pay, and maybe you are not buoyant enough to do that, and there are problems.
So
God knows your situation.
Those people
so
who are in government or public office holders, or even civil servants like me, if I siphon government's money for the purpose of buying RAM, my prayers definitely will not be accepted. My sacrifice.
Can't be answered.
Okay, that's a good one. I wish we can all understand that.
Can't be answered.
God does not take stolen things.
God, Islamically, Inna Allah ta'ala tayyibun. The Almighty God is pure, and He does not take anything except pure things. So if you are not pure yourself, your heart is not pure, you sacrifice for people to see you have slaughtered 5, 10 rams, or just people to see, then your reward is there. They have seen and they have appreciated. God did not appreciate that because he did not do it for him.
Yes.
He just did it for those people around you to notice that this what you are buoyant enough to do that while other people are hungry. Why not share with others?
All right. You know, now you talked about ram. It's because of the Salah period. I also know that beyond just the ram, a lot of people go extra mile to just do things. You know, things. Have you? I don't know, Lolo. Have you gone to market before? This one happened to somebody who I noticed, and I had to tell the person, "Relax. It's real." She was paying for something on a counter, and the cashier was counting, and at the point she was like, I think this is more than, you're putting more than some of them tutu. You know, so at the end of it, they had to do logging again, and it still came out the same thing. The woman went to her car, sat down, and was going through the thing they gave her, the receipt they gave her, to be sure that she's not being cheated. I smiled. I said, don't worry, the lady didn't cheat you. It's all in the system.
In the biting economy.
Have you felt that way before?
I have, severally. At times I go to the markets, and after buying things, I look at the quantity of what I have compared to what I used to have before. And I start thinking, did I misplace my money somewhere in the market? I start looking around, you know. And if you are not careful, you become depressed almost immediately. Yes, you become depressed because you now look at, you take 20,000 naira to the market, and what you are getting is not, you know, it can't fill up a bako bag. That 150 or 200 naira bako bag. And you keep wondering what is happening. It's just the way the economy is now. Seriously. That is just the truth. So it has happened to me several times.
It happens to everybody.
It's a common thing. You know, it's a common thing. If you just go to market with 100,000, assuming you bought a bag of rice, around almost 30,000. Yes. Then you buy maybe half basket of tomatoes, around 10,000 or so. Then you buy onions. Before you know, you have spent almost 60,000. Now you have to buy meat, buy oil, buy other things. Before you know, you just see the things like this. They are very, something that is just small. You start
half
counting.
of your boots.
Yes, you just start counting. Okay, how much did I buy this? Is it actual? You sit down and calculate and recalculate, because you will just be 100,000, and then Oga at home will be saying, Oga, there is no Maggi, I couldn't buy. How much did I give you? I gave you 100,000.
I love that part of Oga that you brought into it. I think it's something our men just need to realize, that the economy is no longer friendly. And either we like it or not, they need to join hands together with the women to make sure that our kitchen
is
becomes
the best.
Yes,
you know,
suitable for us.
Honestly, what I was actually going to suggest at the end of the day is, let's swap role. Let women take responsibility for house rent, electricity bill, you know, school fees. Let the men take care of the everyday running of the house full time.
Really?
You know, everyday running. You buy beverage, you buy toiletries, you buy gas for your car, you buy everything.
Then you supervise the house.
And then if you have a lot of women, girls, you know, children, girls. I didn't say boys. Boys, buy one Paco jeans and t-shirt. It's good to go. You know, that when it's a girl, even when they are like this,
it's true.
Those small hair pin, they cost money.
Yes.
And small girl like this knows that this dress does not match that black shoe.
It's
It's
true.
telling you that
exactly.
this dress is red.
Like my
Why is
daughter.
my shoe not, your daughter does it.
Yesterday, we dressed up for Eid. So, normally it's preferable this Eid Kabir to use white clothes to commemorate with the Hajj and everything. So we used white clothes, me and her elder sister. So she now said, she used one black veil. She now said, Mommy, I would have used white. I said, I carry white. She used the veil, and she was not comfortable. She was just, when we were praying, I just laughed. I said, okay, when we finish, I said, you did not even concentrate. You are busy. She wanted to go with the yes, she wanted to belong. Since we are doing the same, she must do it. And at the end of the day, she was not comfortable because when she was praying, she was just trying to, roll over the veil, carry it from the side to the other side. I was like, this one, your prayer, you did not concentrate on. Say, no, I've been praying. I said, okay. Because as little as she is, she knows that, okay, this is what she wants. And she wants to follow the cue.
But that's where the girl child comes in. I think the needs for the girl child when it comes to provision at home is much more than the boy child.
Sorry, let me quickly chip in something. My own experience. Like last week, I have 3 daughters.
Mashallah.
They are on holiday now, so they wanted to make their hair using attachments. Sincerely, we spent above 10,000 naira.
Really?
Yes.
And it will not last up to a month?
No, just to make hair. No, but I warned them. I said, this hair must stay up to 4 weeks, which is a month. Because there's no how you will make me spend another money. And after 2 weeks, you tell me you want to remove it.
Yes,
I said, so
because you have to
just
calculate
know how you will manage it.
Yes.
So that is just it. And normally, maybe 2-3 years back, with just 4,500 naira, we can do that.
You see?
But speaking of this, I think all of us have the same experience. In a little while, the feedback number will be there. So fellow housewives who are watching us can also share their own experiences. And as you share it, I also want solution, because the whole idea is to ensure that we all find ways of mitigating or managing or ensuring that we have free flow of things we need in our home. When you talked about hair, I remember growing up, and my mom had like 5 girls there, and it was compulsory that everybody learns to do hair.
Yes.
So that way we save costs.
Exactly. So if you don't know how to make hair, by the time they come back from school and maybe during weekend you are busy, you couldn't make the hair, then you couldn't take them to salon to make their hair. You have to. Because if they go to school without hairstyle, the hairstyle, they will punish them. Or, it's like you are not that serious. The parents did not take care of the children and the hair is looking old and all those stuff. And the children will not even allow you. So there was, I think, 2-3 weeks back, I have to sit. I traveled, I came back late. I have to sit. And I came back around 8 because I traveled to Jos. So I have to sit, make the hair. I started making the hair around 9. So I have to sleep around 11.
Wow.
Because they are going to school on Monday. And I cannot afford to do it in the morning. And they have lost the head already. So there is no way I will just leave them like that. So I have to, even if it is big, control that. And before, it was around 11.
Okay, how can we make our, expenditure even further less in the homes? Especially when it comes to feeding. I am not surprised that feeding takes a lot of money, because even with Maslow law, it's still the basic, the fundamental, the first needs. So it consumes a lot of money. How do we begin to ensure that we waste money less, we save more, so that the family can still eat healthy?
Well, on my own part, I think bulk buying.
Bulk buying?
Yes, buying.
What about if you don't have bulk money?
At times, just like we have been saying, group of people come together, group of women come together, like in offices, civil servants. You come together, you buy a bag of rice, 2 bags of rice, and you share.
Okay, that's nice.
You buy goat, fish, chicken, and share as well. You buy milk, bag, and share. Sugar, flour.
Yeah.
We do that in my office. Yes.
Stockfish, dry fish.
Yes. So that has helped a lot in a way. Then another way to it is that seasonal. When those food stuff are in season, you try and buy as much as you can. For instance, when like 4-5 months ago, when tomato was just 3,500 naira.
Per basket.
Unlike now that is 35,000. Wow. Yes. So many people bought. And there are so many ways of preserving them.
What are the ways?
Like you buy, you boil, and put it into this mayonnaise bottle. And reboil again with the bottle, and it seals it up. Though it's a long process that I might not be able to explain here, but as many housewives that are watching, I know so many of us know about that, or you can Google and check it. Yes, you will see it. Another, that is one way.
If I boil it in that bottle, do I need to put it in the fridge?
No need. You just spread it around your kitchen cabinet, anywhere you have, and it's well preserved. Yes, I've done it for like 6 years, I've been doing it. But, and it can last up to 6 months, when you do that. But fortunately and unfortunately for me this year, I didn't do that, maybe because of laziness. In fact, I don't really know what happened. And having to make stew in my house now is biting me very, very hard. When I say very, very hard, sincerely. So those are ways, we could.
I just learned.
No, people have been doing it and it's very good. The only thing is that if you maybe seal it, if you open it, you have to use it all.
Yes.
Yes. If you seal it, maybe
it's like tin tomatoes.
Yeah, exactly. If you open a bottle, you make sure
have to use it all. And then if you have freezer and you have
what
light
if I boil in bulk and then store it in the fridge?
That one, if you have
it works.
Light.
It works. If you have regular power supply in your area, that will be fine.
Do that. Then another way is to dry it. To preserve.
If you dry it, will the taste and color still be the same?
It will not be the same, but it's another way of preservation.
That's always the problem. It won't be the same.
It won't be the same. Most of the times you see the stew, it will be black.
Yeah.
But if you will do it yourself and take care of the hygiene, I don't usually encourage people to buy dry tomatoes because of the hygiene. Because if you move around, you see where they dry the tomatoes, it's not safe, as in by the roadside like this.
You talked about beans and bottling the beans.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Yes, if you buy beans now, you remove the dirt, the stones and everything, take care of it. Then you get a jerry can.
Yes.
And you put it inside, you close it tight. And it will last over I used to do that for a year.
Okay.
I learned some people sprinkle pepper into it.
Yes, but if it's actually tight, if it is actually tight, the jerry can is tight, you open it, fetch and close it tight.
So how do I take care of rice too? Because of weevil. I do the same too?
Rice, I've never tried that of rice, but
rice can stay up to 6 months without anything, as long as it's in the neat environment
and dry
environment. And anytime you take from it, you tie back the sack. Yes, neatly.
Usually I fetch from the bag. I'll just fetch small quantity in a container. Then I'll tie the bag, keep it aside. Then we'll be using that small one. If that one is finished now, I'll add another one. Yes.
What I think again, maybe for families, I know there are some people at the end of maybe weekend or something, they make pots of soup, pots of stew, maybe like 4 different soups, 2 different stew, and put it there. So the children come in and eat whenever they want to. I'm thinking that probably we'll save more money if we cook less, and then learn to also eat at home. There are people who are constantly buying from food vendors outside. Constantly. In workplaces, as they're entering the office, they're ordering. In fact, some of the food vendors already know by 10 o'clock you're supposed to go and give these people food. And I'm wondering, why do I need to do all that? The money you spend, you may probably think it's just 500 naira or 1,000 naira. If you're buying 500 naira worth of food outside your home, I can assure you you're eating bad oil. And anybody who is old enough to work should be old enough to watch his or her own cholesterol. So they can't definitely go to use olive oil for you. That's
not at all.
So you take whatever oil that is available, maybe over recycled oil as well. Now, apart from the fact that you're putting a stress on your health, you're also wasting money. If I have to eat food 1,000 naira for lunch outside my home, my husband eats 1,000 naira outside his home. Probably a child eats 500, 1,000 naira. That's 3,000, right?
Yes.
With that 3,000 naira, no matter how difficult things are, I can make good pot of jollof rice that we can eat 2 times.
2 times a day. Exactly, and you add fish and meat.
No, I'm taking a big man jollof rice. That's what I'm not talking about our level. You know, if I'm going to cook our level, 1,000 naira, I will do it.
See?
And everybody will eat clean and healthy food.
You know, most of the times, we ladies have challenges in this area. Or how will I put it, as in the women of these days are not the same with our mothers. Our mothers manage the home very well, and we can attest to that. They raised us well, as in they train us well. You see, even if it is Maggie, they will open the sachet, and you see them as in shaking it so that not too
no waste.
Yes, no waste. But these days, you cook anyhow, and at the end of the day, the food might not even be as tasty as it's supposed to be because you are exhausted. You are carrying 3 or 4 workloads. You are a mother, you are a wife, you are a working class lady, and things like that. And before you know, if you come home, you'll be exhausted. And you don't hear what is happening. As far as the food is there, let it be. Whatever is going to, as in how to manage it and other things, you don't even care who cooked the food, what happened to the food. Is it the person is, as in, taking care of the size of the food? You're supposed to cook like 3 cups, and the person is cooking 4 cups. And you know, the children of these days, you can't cook food and warm it and rewarm it. They will not eat it.
You know, those things come along. Like you said, you're coming from work, you're exhausted.
Yes.
I think if we begin to train our children to work with us in the kitchen, you know, for 2 things. Somebody is asking a question here that I want to link to what I was saying. It says, concerning the feeding aspect of children, children do not care if parents have money or not. All they want is the food, and it must be provided. You didn't write your name here, but you're actually right in this aspect. Every child is expected to, in fact, I always tell them they were in heaven minding their business.
Yes.
You now ask them to come, so why won't you give them
In
food?
fact, it's their fundamental human rights.
It's their fundamental rights.
That you provide all they need for them. And just like you have said earlier, the basic necessity is food. That you see, even educated women these days, you hear them saying, children are gifts from the Lord. Let's just have them, and God will take care of them. I don't think it happens like that, the way Nigeria is now. You have to use your sense, let me use that word, sense, honestly, and know what you are doing.
Plan it very well.
Yes, so that you'll be able to provide well for your family.
You know, speaking about that, I was trying to actually make a point from what she said. A lot of parents, you know, give their children different meals. Like maybe this person will say, I don't like ogu soup. Yeah. You go for banga. This person says, I don't like banga. You go for this. It's actually, unless somebody has serious allergy, I think everybody should eat the same thing to save money. That's how we all grew up.
I'm in support of
and
that.
a lot of times, this thing starts from early in life. If you make children be part of a cooking, they are excited to eat it.
Exactly.
If you're cooking, you're minding, your children are playing with their computer. First of all, you get exhausted. If I'm cooking, that 2-year-old person, like you mentioned, the spices that come wrapped up, that child will battle to open it for me.
Yes.
I will achieve 2 things. The person will do what is called DIY, do it yourself. By the time she succeeds in opening one, she's excited.
Exactly.
And then she wants to, and I say, see what you did. Ah, Mama, you did this. And the food is not tasting extra because of your contribution.
Yes.
She now wants to eat that food, you know, and she wants to participate even further.
Yes.
And then for me, that's a little job taken off me. But if you sit down and say, they are kids, they can't do it. Your child is 6 years old, she should not enter kitchen. Your child is 10 years old. Is it when she's 18? When is she going to learn to cook?
There's no time.
So at that time, she's used to taking it from mom and eating it. When mom is not there, she will start ordering food.
Exactly.
They go to university, their gas or whatever they're using to cook doesn't get lit at any point in time because they are buying food. And they are buying because there's no money to cook it.
There's no money.
You know, so if
and
they start
will go
early,
extra ways to get money to buy that food.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think it's best if we, you know, work with our children from tender age. Let everybody be there. And for the husbands, don't think kitchen is for the women. It's exciting when I see my husband enter kitchen.
It really,
you know,
something
even though I
that-
know he's going to burn my pot, it doesn't matter. I'll just sit behind and be sure
burn
that
half of the food.
and
But
if you're cooking with fish, you eat half of the fish. All right, let's take a break now at Preferring Solutions. When we take this break, we'll look at what the solution offers. And after that, we'll be reading most of the messages. I see them coming. We're reading them. Let's take this for now.
Have you tried looking for a job recently? Do you keep getting rejected? Almost all the graduates I know have experienced this very thing. But don't worry, I just recently discovered something and I'm going to share it with you all. You can actually earn a little bit of money by doing a couple of things here and there. Driving a taxi or becoming someone's driver is a quick way to make some money. If you own a vehicle, you can also drive for a ride-sharing business. Creating a small washing business is also lucrative today. Some people cannot find the time or are too exhausted from work to wash. Throwing, ironing, and dry cleaning, and you have got yourself a business. Obviously, you do not need training to do this. Depending on the school year, becoming a lesson teacher is a good business venture. Primary and secondary school students need tutoring for examinations or just one-on-one lessons. You can also give lectures in areas you are knowledgeable in. Young people tend to be on their phones a lot. In fact, data is their lifeline. But they can also use that knowledge to teach people computer literacy, manage social media for companies, or start website design. Working in the beauty industry is bankable now. From creating your own skincare line, becoming a makeup artist, or even just vlogging yourself using your own beauty supplies is a surefire way to make money now. Becoming a barber has always been a practical way to make money. You can go around your neighborhood offering to cut people's hair and cultivate a business relationship based on that. In today's world, people live a fast-paced life and do not often find the time to eat a home-cooked meal. So if you like playing in the kitchen, this is the time to make money out of it. You can cook and sell. A pot of soup can go for between 6,000 to 8,000 naira. Satisfy people's cravings and fill up your pocket at the same time. Tailoring is a lucrative skill to have. People always need custom-fitted clothes, and depending on how you want to go about it, you can work from home, set up a shop somewhere, or make home visits. Construction is always going on somewhere, so while waiting for a job, you can become a day pay laborer. You can make up to 1,500 naira to 2,000 naira a day and be physically fit at the same time. A lot of people are too busy to clean their homes or do not clean them well. You can get paid by the hour to clean someone's home, and you might just get tips and gratuities as well. So as you can see, you can easily turn a hobby or a skill into a money-making venture. Don't say that there's no work anywhere when you can easily look for work offline, online, through word of mouth, and so on. Don't resort to crime and do not become a beggar. If you can't find work, create it for yourself.
All right. In the words of Adao Nobu, if you can't find work, create it for yourself. There's no, excuse to being lazy, especially the housewife. If you can't create that money minting job, you can create something. She was just telling us about her backyard, what she does in the backyard. Maybe everybody will listen to you.
In order to support the family, we have some small plants, as in spices. We have spices, we have kori, we have scent leaf, we have ogu leaves, we have moringa, banana, oranges, and we're happy. Anytime I have to make soup, I'll just go to my backyard and get small things like this. Yes, I just need to get tomatoes and pepper, onion in the market, and my soup is done.